How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the next couple of days, we'll be talking with somebody who is a big time CBD distributor. You remember I talked about probably doing a live show with CBD. Do you
Cool.
think? Do you think that will be something? Because I'm looking at trying to put together a comedy style live CBD because they have all types of products from popcorn to tea to rubs and everything, and basically do a weekly show demonstrating and talking about the products.
Yep. Uh,
Um,
well, I had a conversation with Pop Shop Live about both alcohol and CPD, and they don't want to do it, at least at this point,
okay.
because it's just legally complex for them. They're nationwide. They don't just operate in North Carolina. That being said, you might be able to work it out with somebody like Comment Sold.
Okay.
Um, because in that case, you're the performer. It's your site. It's not some site in Los Angeles. So
Okay.
they might have more control over who sees it and all that kind of stuff. So do you need that contact information of that guy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. His name is Michael. Hold on one second.
Let me grab a pen.
Um, my mind is mush. So his name is Michael Brooks, and he's Michael.Brooks at commentsold.com.
Michael dot
Brooks, Brooks at commentsold.com. And just make sure you tell him you're in my class.
All right, I got it, sir.
All right. Yeah, he's a real good guy. All these companies have different attitudes about stuff, so who knows? But it's worth a try.
Okay.
Okay, Brant, so I sent you his email address. Hopefully you got it.
Checking right now.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat.
Yeah, well, I got the email on her.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Grant.
Hey Dennis, how are you?
All right, did you figure out how to get in?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'll go ahead and upload all those after the meeting.
Cool.
I think you accidentally made Branson co-host, not me.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Thing jumps around, you know?
Yeah, not a problem.
Should be okay now.
Great. Yep, there we go.
All right. Are you back in Greenville, Grant?
I am, yes, sir. Yeah, I moved in Sunday.
Oh, how was that?
It was interesting. Lots of sporadic rain, but I'm liking my new apartment, so
Good. Did your stuff get wet?
a little bit, just some of it,
Yeah.
but
I get you an umbrella, boy.
yeah, I don't have the money, so
Yeah. Well, umbrellas come in handy. I was not an umbrella person for a long time. Now I am. So
yeah,
just even a little cheap pop-up one works just fine.
true. Yeah, people always joke that I'm kind of too tall, that I'm above the clouds anyway, so
How tall are you?
6'9".
Wow, that is tall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's officially tall, I have to say.
officially tall.
Yeah, that's officially tall.
Yep, yep. How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
6'3". Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
just a punk, just a little punk.
Yeah, my dad's 6'4", my mom's 5'10", and then my sister's 6'4" as well.
Oh my goodness, that's tall too. Huh.
Yeah, so tall family.
Yeah. The I played basketball in high school and I was the second tallest guy on the team. The tallest guy was like 6'5".
Wow.
And we went to DC. We got put in this summer league with all these elite teams. And the very first game, the guy who covered me was 7'1".
Oh my God.
His name was Tommy Skates, and he ended up playing for Georgetown. Luckily he was not mobile at all. He was like the Sandman. He just stood there. But 7'1", man.
Yeah.
All my little BS pump fakes, all that kind of stuff. He just knocked to next week. So I just went outside and stayed away from him.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But I just as my coach said to me, Trots, we can't teach height and we can't teach speed.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, ironically enough, I never played in high school.
Huh.
I played middle school, but I quit because I was too short
Oh,
and
that's funny.
too skinny. And then sophomore
Pretty
year,
funny.
hit my growth spurt.
Yeah.
But
I remember our coach at halftime saying, "Men, we're small, but we're slow."
that's
I always thought that was an awesome speech,
funny.
you know. So we were playing this team, not to digress, but we're playing this team that actually went on to win the state championship in Virginia, and it was the regional finals. And they had this guy who actually ended up playing for the LA Lakers, but he's a great football player too.
Wow.
And every single play, but not every single play, but almost every single play, they did a pitch out to him around the right side. And he just ran around our entire team and scored 6 times.
Oh, geez.
Never had a hand touch him. This was before halftime. So my twin brother was playing defensive end. And the coach said to him, Trots, what the hell's going on out there? And the whole crowd, the whole team was gathered around, and my brother stood up and said, he fakes left, he fakes right, gone.
Yeah.
That was his explanation. The guy was so fat. Plus, he was like 6'4", 225 or something. He's like Jimmy Brown. He couldn't be caught. And if you did catch him, he'd throw you the next week anyway. So it's pretty funny.
That's funny.
All right. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Telling war stories here. Hope we didn't put you to sleep. Okay. So today we're going to tie off this whole thing with categorization and how to use it. And this is the end, I promise. I know everybody has had about enough of category, but I can't emphasize enough, even if we just plant the seed in your head to think about this, even for the future, it can really make a huge difference in putting your business in a league of its own, I guess is the way I would look at it. So let's see if we can figure out how to do this, and we'll give it a start here. Okay, there we go. So hopefully that's working. And Let's go right here. Okay, there we go.
I'm going to talk about process and timing of a project. Now, this is somewhat based on what we do when we're working with a client, but you can take the same formula and run it through your company. Essentially, we start with, and the way we do this project, this takes about 3 months. But start with a discovery process. Come up with general questions that you might have from the book. Use Dave's 3 questions. Give it to your trusted advisors. You could have one of your board members, an investor, your executive team, co-founder, a key player that always contributes good ideas. Have them answer Dave's 3 questions on their own, and then compile the results and have everybody share the results and see where they lead you. Next thing you want to do, focus really heavy on the problem. Think it through. Think about what people really think their problem is, and don't think about solution until you have nailed the problem. Marketecture. Things like a category blueprint, an ecosystem, or your persona study. Think about your vision. What's your roadmap? Then go in and think about the name. At this point, you've done a lot of work, a lot of homework. You should start to get a feel for what your category is going to be and where it's going to go. And once you've done that, then you develop your story. Everyone here has probably put together an investor pitch deck. The pitch deck can flow from the POV. Everybody's heard about storytelling. Storytelling's old school, POV is new school. Mobilization, putting together the lightning strike. Get your whole company, your whole market, get the analysts that cover your area, get everybody heading towards the agenda and the story you want them to tell. If you focus on this framework, you'll end up working it through the same way we do, the same way the book illustrates. And if you're stuck somewhere, if you're on company POV, and you'd say to yourself, ah, God, go to the book. The book actually has an index. Everyone forgets that. So look up what you're stuck on and go back and read about it. Go to our website, go to Play Bigger's website. There's a bunch of information out there. Sample POVs are out there. So marketecture stuff, we're going to talk about each of the examples. First one is a category blueprint. And the blueprint sets the agenda and the requirements for your category and establishes what the problem is by illustrating it graphically. People learn through listening, by doing, or by seeing. And that's where the blueprint comes in handy. This is a category blueprint. Company's called Replicon, and we're going to show some examples of their work. But they're a time clock company. In factories and businesses where you go in, you say, I start work, I'm clocked in at 8 in the morning. Boring industry, right? What they realized is time is a very valuable asset for businesses. People are a valuable asset. And they were collecting all this information about time. And what they did is they applied machine learning to their time information that they gather, and they create what they call time intelligence. So that category is time intelligence. It interfaces with all the different aspects of time tracking. It applies different technology to it to come up with insights, and basically you end up with a bunch of business recommendations. So a blueprint's just a nice graphical way to represent your category. It also becomes, in most cases, a nice marketing asset, something to put in your investor deck. Build out an ecosystem. The ecosystem is it's again graphical, and it also is a process, but the ecosystem documents sort of the flow of your business. Here's an example. This was in the book. Essentially, if you look here, they talk about there are different areas they interface with, the agencies in the marketing industry, customer development. So it's illustrating every connection of your ecosystem and the things you interface with as you conduct your business. Understand your persona. Has anyone ever done a persona map before? I think it's funny, they always name everything, you know, like Marketing Maggie, you know. I just always chuckle about that. Who are you talking to? And you're gonna change, when you create your point of view, you're gonna then create a messaging Bible from that. And knowing who you're talking to is highly important, because you're gonna tell the story differently if you're talking to an investor, or if you're talking to a customer, or if you're talking to the customer's CEO. HubSpot has some incredible examples on their website. Just Google HubSpot and the word persona, and you're gonna find templates and slide decks and videos. They talk all about it. But essentially, here, I should have used the example Marketing Mary. But you're basically mapping out everybody's, you know, concerns, what problems they have that are unique to them, and it allows you to think differently about your category to make sure you're addressing all your different concerns and people. Know your vision and roadmap. Really important. If you're building a category today, you need to think about the promises you're going to communicate for the future. Facebook put their roadmap out, and what's funny is they didn't end up saying we dominate the world, but I think that's kind of the direction they're going. But essentially, they talk about where they're going every couple of years. And when you think about your roadmap, it allows you to translate that into your story. If you tell the story about you can buy this widget today, that's no big deal, right? A clicker. But if Logitech told this story about this widget a couple of years ago and said, what if you could move your widget around and it moved your mouse on the screen? That's what this clicker does, which is pretty cool. What's your point of view? So basically, a point of view is a story. It's an emotional story. You want to appeal to people's instincts and their gut. The POV communicates what your whole category strategy is about. When you write your point of view, write it like you're telling a story in a bar. People call it your elevator pitch. I haven't told my story in an elevator ever, but I've told my story in a bar 1,000,000 times. Tell your story kind of like you've had 2 martinis, right? A little buzz opens up the creativity. Ernest Hemingway said, write drunk and edit sober. When you're putting your POV together, don't talk about why you're better. That just compares you to competition. Always be different. You want to establish the emotion of the problem, talk about the ramifications of not solving the problem, introduce your category and your solution, and then articulate why you're different and can solve it in no other way that anyone else can solve. Here's a point of view example. This is Replicon, the company we were just talking about, time intelligence. So when you're creating a point of view, it's kind of like when you were taught how to write a story back in school. Create a flow, right? A storyline. What we do is we start with the problem. Time tracking was old, clunky systems, blah, blah, blah. What are the ramifications of not doing anything with time tracking? Time goes missing. You don't know if people are cheating you on their overtime, etc. What's the vision for the future? AI can make this a more valuable thing to the company. Time can become valuable. Time can be an asset. And then what are the outcomes, the value of using the solution? If you map this out in a very simple way, think of it as a story, 100 words, 200 words, 100 words, 200 words, you end up with a nice short 2-minute story. This is the Replicon point of view. So a point of view, it's a written story, and when you're done, it should feel like that 3-minute video explainer that people put on their website. So I'm going to just read it, and walk it through for you, but I want to see if you think of yourself as a business owner that actually has people that you track time with. Point of view is a story, and it's emotional, and it introduces the category and lets people know why they should join it. So here's Replicon's point of view. Everyone knows that time is money, but unlike money, most businesses don't know enough about their time. What did we do to turn time into money today? How much did time cost us today? Such questions are surprisingly hard to answer. Time is universal in any business. 60% of a company's cost is time. Yet there's no easy way to capture time spent and connect it to a company's work, accomplishments, events, and results. Multiple systems track time today: CRM, ERP, HR, PSA, project management. But they all do it in a different, non-connected, non-shareable way. Time goes missing because it's hard for employees to track accurately and in real time. Most time tracking features were built for the last century, tedious and sluggish, while the world changes in seconds. This makes it difficult for a company to treat time as a valuable asset. But that's exactly what it is. Time is an asset, and businesses need to understand how to best use that asset today and in the future. A 1,000-person company has around 2 million hours at its disposal in any year. Do we know what our millions of hours got us? How can we connect all of our time to all of our outcomes? Analyze time, understand it, and make predictions about it. It requires a new way to think about and manage time. It requires time intelligence. Time intelligence is important to business in a way that emotional intelligence is important to people. True time intelligence is much more than the sum of static data and reports. It means businesses can connect time spent to outcomes produced and understand and deploy time as an asset. Time intelligence allows businesses to treat time the way they treat money, resources, and materials. And this new knowledge can flow back to individual employees so they can understand their own time and how they are contributing. And manage time so they are more successful, which in turn makes the company more successful. Any company that operates without understanding time as an asset is wasting time. Optimizing time, treating time as an asset, it's a competitive advantage. Getting you there is a problem Replicon solves. We've developed technology for time intelligence. Replicon built it for our IoT, mobile, cloud, and social and AI era. It's time management for the 21st century. We call it the Time Intelligence Platform, and it liberates time from your systems and turns it into an intelligent and valuable asset. Replicon's architecture harvests time and events everywhere, in any way and on any device. We link time to every system you rely on, legacy software, new apps, or any technology you might buy in the future. Replicon adds the intelligence layer to validate, process, analyze, and transform time into powerful information. With Replicon, you'll know how you turn time into money, and how much time costs you, and how to better use time in the days, months, or years ahead. Time as an asset is what Replicon is all about. Time intelligence is our business. Replicon, the time intelligence company. So, I just ask you all, never heard of Replicon before, do you think you understand their story? As a business owner, you understood the pain, the problem, you understood the ramifications and the solution and the category. All right? My Canadian partner snuck analyze in with an S. Did you notice that?
Everyone knows that time is money. But unlike money, most businesses don't know enough about their time. Time is a valuable strategic asset and should be treated with the same importance as money.
Any company that operates without the understanding that time is an asset is wasting time. Trunk Club is a Chicago-based personalized styling service for men and women, offering in-person and virtual shopping experiences. Trunk Club has clubhouses in every major market in the United States. Our customers come in, feel the clothes, they have a stylist working with them, and they walk out of our doors feeling great. So our national stylist team interact with our customers via text messaging or a phone call.
Okay, so what does your typical work outfit look like?
Before Replicons, time was very hard to track. With a workforce that's on the go, they're not able to clock in and out via your traditional punching in or time clock system. Time went missing.
Most time tracking features were built in the last century, tedious and sluggish. Today, the world changes in seconds.
What businesses need is a way to understand time spent and connect that time to work, accomplishments, output, and results.
This advance requires a new way to think about and manage time. It requires time intelligence. Replicon developed the technology for time intelligence for the era of IoT, mobile, cloud, social, and AI.
The Time Intelligence platform allows a simple, common approach for us to collect time across the enterprise. Now employees have 3 options to clock in and out via the iPad, laptop, or desktop, or the mobile app. It gives us real-time data of what our employees are doing, where they're clocking in and out from, and then we can connect that time to our sales and make better decisions to drive the business forward.
This is time management for the 21st century. We call it the Time Intelligence Platform. It liberates time from your systems and turns it into an intelligent and valuable resource. Replicon's architecture harvests time and events everywhere, in any way and on any device. It then validates, processes, and transforms time, making it available to time intelligence services and apps. The platform links time into every system you rely on, legacy software, or new apps you might add in the future. Replicon provides complete solutions for enterprise time management, global time and gross pay automation, and business operations software. With Replicon, you'll know how you turn time into money, how much time cost you, and how to better use time in the days, months, and years ahead. Time as an asset is what Replicon is all about. Replicon, the time intelligence company.
Yeah, so the question is, does the point of view drive the category name? And many times it does. When we go in and present a point of view to our clients, we may have come up with a category name that's not perfect. The point of view, though, will trigger people's thinking, and we end up getting to the point where the name emerges. We've also delivered them, and the name is killer. Time Intelligence was one example. We delivered it with that. But the example we gave earlier, where it took the whole 3 months before we came up with a category name, that happens. But once you get it, it's like the drop the mic moment, and you know you've got it. After the point of view, you focus on your lightning strike, mobilize your company and communicate to the world. So obviously you want a press release. Trade shows. Almost every industry has a trade show that you want to be at. You don't have to be big. You just have to, introduce what you're doing at the trade show. In their case, they chose one of the cheapest trade show offers you can do. They just sponsored the coffee station. But guess what? Everybody walking around with a coffee had Time Intelligence in their hand. T-shirts, brochures and marketing materials. Focus on your POV. Notice it doesn't say the Time Intelligence platform. It goes right to part of their POV on their data sheets. They did an event. This is actually in Vegas at the HR Tech Show. 9,000 people walking around. It's a big show. And they rented out Bouchon, which is one of the nicest restaurants in Vegas. And they hired a relevant book author, Hal Elrod, who has a series of books called The Miracle Morning. It's about using your time wisely to change your life. And he spoke, and so it was a relevant topic about time, but he didn't talk about the product. He just talks about time, got people involved. They ended up with 300 people out of the 9,000 walked over to this restaurant. As a business owner, I'd love to have 300 people focused on me. They redid their website. This is their old one. Time management for your entire workforce. Doesn't say anything. This is the new one. Time intelligence. They're converting people into hours, and it's the ability to intelligently use time and set exceptional companies apart. What they got after the strike was unique, and this is some examples of what you want to achieve with category design. These are quotes from their sales team after the show. People are intrigued by time intelligence and asking who our competitors are. If people are asking who your competitors are after you're 20 years old, that's pretty damn cool. So they've established a new category. It led to further discussions of how the time intelligence platform provides business intelligence we never had before. And that was a client. So there's a new understanding of what they're thinking about as it pertains to time. They're impressed by the way we recognize that time is an asset. Nobody ever said time is an asset before, right? People is our biggest asset. You hear that all the time. But they got the market to start using their point of view, their taxonomy.
Okay. So a lot going on there, and I certainly realize that very few of us are going to host events in Las Vegas and rent out a restaurant, But I think the point is that you can still think about ways when we talk about this lightning event, this idea of introducing your category at some sort of event or process. You can do it on a local level. It doesn't have to be on a national level. It can be on a local or regional level. It could be in partnership with one of your customers, one of your grocery stores or one of your other outlets. But I think the message is clear that you can differentiate yourself and not really be part of the maddening crowd. Be unique. And even if your product, you feel like, well, what's the big deal? My product is commonplace. Depending on how your point of view of how you look at your product and the problem that it may solve, or this idea of a new category, I hope it gives you some creativity to think about ways that you might be able to use some of these things. Like I said, I know you all aren't hosting trade shows in Las Vegas. I get that. But conceptually, the process is the same. It can just be scaled up or down depending on how you look at it. So anybody want to jump in here? Any thoughts as we close out this whole category thingy? Doug, what do you think?
Well, I actually had a couple of phone calls there in the middle of this, so I missed a little bit of this. But yeah, with the telling the story from the point of view there, I think that is going to play into how to develop that category that I'm looking for.
Yeah. Do you have any competitors that you know of in your space?
No.
Wow. Get going, boy. Get that product out there. Quick, before somebody figures it out.
Right.
Anyone else want to comment? Chris Neal does, I know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think Chris is there. Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to add?
Yeah, this is Ruth. So
Ruth.
I'm catching up from being on vacation last week, but I think it's interesting because I have a lot of competitors, and the exercise of thinking about his point of view and what the problem is and the solution is going to be challenging for Jam, but I think it's something that I want to spend some time to look into.
Yeah, I think that, when I think of it, and I haven't spent obviously the time you have, but, to me, what you're doing, you have a lot of unique flavors. You've won the Good Food Award several times. So you may be your own category of, I don't know what the right descriptors are of your category. It's something you can work on. But I think that there's not many people that have achieved what you've achieved, looking in as an outsider. So I think to the extent that you can characterize those things and not just, hey, our jam tastes better, but our jam makes your life better, or our jam is the first jam to do X. I'm reaching there, I understand, but I think conceptually, that's what we're talking about here, is developing a point of view and trying to think a little bit about this. And there's worksheets on this platform also that you can use and can help structure what you're doing.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else want to chime in? Okay. Well, that's all I have for today. So I hope this is helpful. I'm happy to visit with anybody who wants to talk more about this, or even talk about ways to get started on this process. But I do think that, the name of the guy's book that he was talking about is called Play Bigger. And one of the principles that we have when we created Accelerate Rural is we really wanted to help rural, particularly e-commerce businesses, to get bigger, to play bigger, to get in a position where you might hire more people, make more sales, make an economic impact in the community where you operate. So that's really the intent behind all this stuff, is to get you thinking, how can I play bigger? And that book is on Amazon, Play Bigger. If you would like to take a look at that, it's there. And of course, the videos are here. You can watch them again. But my hope and what I'm trying to do is help you think of ways that you can play bigger. So with that, I'll say goodbye until tomorrow. We have John Rothenberger, who I think you'll really enjoy. He's a guy who has bootstrapped 2 successful businesses, which is unusual. And I think he has some great stories to tell, and he's been a friend for a long time. So I think you'll enjoy his perspective and what he's up to. So, all right, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you.